So I'm out here at Waterfall Gully on the Remedy. I just wanted to talk about just some observations from bar roll. So I've just changed my handlebars to 40mm rise from a 30mm rise. So I got the Renthal fat bars nice and high now. So from the ground, if it's standing level, if the bike's standing level, from the ground to the top of my handlebar is 1.50 m, so 1050. 1050 millimeters. So it's much closer to where I like it. My old bike I had set up at pretty much that height. And putting the bars on, so you've got these little indicators, so the print on the bar. Now, where this is printed on this handlebar is slightly skew with, like slightly around the bar a little further, either this way or that way, to my previous bars, even though they're the same bars. So if you're changing your bars, you can't necessarily just go by those lines. You know, I had this the back part of the stem here I had on 2 on the last setup, and for it to feel the same, for the bike to feel the same and the steering to feel the same, I'm on that 1.5 line, so just below that 1.5 line. Now, the differences to look for when you if you don't know whether to roll your bars back further or roll them forward further, or you just bought a bike from the shop and it's set up, you know, just how it comes. One thing to note is when you roll your bars forward further, so roll them that way a little bit more, so the sweep of the bar is steeper, so it'll be steeper than your the sweep of your forks. That makes the steering more sluggish, more stable, and almost feels a little bit understeery, like it's hard to put the bike where you want it directly. When you roll it back, you get more direct feeling of steering, almost more twitchy steering, and it feels like if you go too far back, like it wants to tuck under. So roll it back further, your front wheel's gonna be more, your steering's gonna be more direct, and it's gonna, as you go further and further back, it's going to feel like the front end wants to tuck. It'll be easier and easier to tuck, and that steering will get more and more twitchy or more and more direct. And as you roll those bars forward more, so more vertical on the sweep, it'll become more stable. The steering will become almost like a steering damper setup, so it'll become less twitchy, but at the cost of not being able to steer it as quickly and as directly. So that's just something to think about. I like to set the sweep of my handlebar up, or the verticalness of my handlebar up, so you can see, kind of looking over it, that's vertical there, and it's kind of hard to see because the brake's in the way, but it's more or less exactly in line with how my forks are. If anything, it's just rolled a tiny bit forward of the line of the forks, so that's where it feels best. It's not too twitchy. It still steers into things really well. It still responds really fast. But I've still got a reasonable amount of stability there as well from rolling it forward a little bit. So just something to think about when you're setting your bikes up or buying a new bike or changing your handlebars. Find a couple of corners and just ride them one after the other. Do laps, roll the bars back a bit, do another couple of laps, roll the bars forward again a bit, do another couple of laps, and you'll find that sweet spot pretty easily. You'll soon find out what feels right. So give it a shot and see how you go.